elements. The state government is also in receipt of multiple complaints of the destruction of crops and farms by livestock. None of this is acceptable. We have therefore directed the commissioners for agriculture, local government and chieftaincy affairs, and the senior special assistant of Homeland Security to work with the security agencies.
To his community in the history of this country. And now there is a gang up in the APC, there's gang up in among the failed governors so far in Abia State against Arested, because Arested is doing well. Security, the Fulani Janjaweed has actually made meeting. They had an agreement among themselves in West Africa that Igbo land is a place to attack, a place to go. When they actually absconded from Central African Republic, they penciled it down that they would attack southeastern region of Nigeria. See, let me tell you what is happening in Abia State. Arested is capable of withstanding their firearms superiority, their modus operandum, all their nonsense they are about to at least carry out in Abia State. Arested, we meet them fire for fire, money for money, blood for blood, water for water, eyeball for eyeball. Arested is there to actually give the Abians quality security they actually needed. I'm telling you that it is no news to me. It is not like dream, because they actually said it on social media. They sent letter to the Abia communities that they are coming. And Arested is a man I know. He has this kind of obsession for quality and the friendly governance. So he's going to give the Abian security and give Fulani herdsmen fire for fire, blood for blood, money for money, blood for blood. Listen and listen good. The Fulanis will never ever go far, because the Ngba community and the Abba community I know, they have never been apprehensive. Yes, of course the Fulanis are about to do in Abia State. That's why the Fulanis are still there, because Abba and Abangba and the Ngba community, they are coming. Ohofia and the Abeba community, they are preparing for the Fulani Janjaweed. They will actually meet their Waterloo in Abia State, and I believe and I suggest they should leave now, or else their graves will be littered all over Abia State. Arested is a man I know that within just 2 months, Arested has achieved 3 times what Tinubu as a president has achieved in the whole country now. Arested just took up, yes, seat of the office of the governor is less and smaller than the office of the presidency, but I can tell you that Tinubu administration has not done anything. Nigerians are dying of hunger, and someone is celebrating about road, Ibirakpa Road, Barepa Road, Garepa Road in Abuja. Is that one putting food for Nigerians on the table? Is that going to change the level, the kind of comatose we find our industries today as a result of what? Power grid, power failure. Most of the companies, industries in Nigeria have actually evacuated, left Lagos, Kano State, and other industrial hub in Nigeria, for Ghana, for Liberia, for Sierra Leone, and some of them are foreign expatriates that actually left Nigeria for India, Indonesia, and Pakistan. This is due to what? Power failure. Power failure, I mean, is our electricity industry is low. It is very low, poorly managed because of ESCOs, DISCOs, Ikeja DISCOs, Agege ESCOs. All these are names of the stakeholders who have hijacked power recently in Nigeria, collecting and extorting money from Nigerians. Yet there is no power supply. So how do you see it? Arested is very powerful, a powerful governor that is delivering quality leadership to Abians. So what happened now is that the Fulani Janjaweed, the Fulani terrorists, the bandits and the Boko Haram in Abia State, they should brace it up, because why? Arested is coming. Then again, we will never forget the ESN, Eastern Security Network, and Biafran Liberation Army. All these people are the, let me say, joint vigilante group. Yes, they have joined forces together to secure Igbo land, not only in Abia. But I'm telling you that as Arested has stood up and promised the Fulani Janjaweed here, they are going to take it. They will collect it soon. Igbo man will be the last people you will arm yourself with sophisticated weapon and shoot a single hole. If you shoot a single soul in Igbo land, the whole Igbos will stand up. Yes, sophisticated weapon. We will procure it, we will buy it, and make sure that we fight Fulani to the last degree. They are not a threat to us.
Okay, but lastly, do you think that the issue as regards security in Abia, do you think that it's political? We heard Ikeazu the other day say what that I was so upset with
Arested political opponents are the ones sponsoring bandits and the Fulani Janjaweeds in Abia State. Let's listen and listen good. Because his government is better than Ojo's Kanu better. Because Aressed's government is better than Theodore Ojo's Kanu's administration. Because Aressed's administration has actually outsmarted Okeze Azu's dilapidated, the poor administration. That is why his political opponents are fighting him. I don't know what to understand. His political opponents are the one at least gathering all these Fulani Janjaweeds, all these bandits and the Fulani headers to attack people in the bush over there. I'm telling you that Arested is doing well. His political opponents are after him. Okeze Azu is not happy with what Arested is doing. Theodore Ojo is not happy with what Arested is doing. Ojo Zokaro has actually started attacking Arested. That APC is going to take Abia very soon. Just imagine. Understand my word though, the federal government of Nigeria, state governments in Nigeria, they know about Fulani headers, so they know about banditry in Nigeria. They are the ones sponsoring most of them. Look at the way Ojo Zokaro is not happy with his brother that is doing well for Abia. Now he's promising Arested hell. That Otti is going to lose out for APC. Just imagine. That's why I'm telling you that the Fulani Marubas that invaded Abia recently, they will make sure that they are going to collect it. Woto. Abians, they are preparing. Remember Ngba, remember Aba. No market place, no commercial city, no commercial city, no place is above Aba in Nigeria. No place is above Aba in Nigeria. I'm telling you, they should prepare and wait. The Enyimba city, they are ever ready. That community that are attacking in Abia State, they should wait. Fulani Marubas, Boko Haram, bandits, they should wait for Enyimba city, Aba. They never carry last. See, let me tell you, Arested is someone I know that whenever he starts something, he finishes it. Arested started the first power plant that actually supplied 24, 36, 72 hours, 1 month hours electricity to Aba, to his community in the history of this country. And now there is a gang up in the APC, there's gang up in among the failed governors so far in Abia State against Arested because Arested is doing well. Listen and listen good. No force should stop what Arested is doing in Abia State. Arested is a man I know that is resilient, a man I know that is diligent and assiduous. And I'm telling you that he's going to deliver good quality governance to the Abians. And the Fulani Janjaweeds that actually started attacking the Igbo land, when they have remembered Arested, that is the end of the Fulani bandits. That should be the end of the Fulani headers. Arested is the man I know that is very, very resilient. He's going to secure Abia State. The Fulani Janjaweeds and the headers, they should prepare. Their graves, their tombs, their sepulchres will be scattered all over Abia State.
We had a pressure from northern governors, emirs, and he resisted them. Another one came from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He resisted Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he doesn't want anything and he's not in any alliance with any Fulani and he wants to run this Abia State. So, name them. Are you talking about Muifru? Are you talking about Topuz Odema? Are you talking about Soludo? Look at Soludo.
These Fulani elders and criminals, perpetrating evil acts as against, killing people on their farms, destroying their properties and what have you in Abia State. But we've seen the Fulani now, they are crying bitterly. They said, Otti has vowed or is using the ESN, to attack them. What is your take as regards?
Attack. And that is why we have somebody like Otti as the governor of that state. He's not in any alliance with anybody. He doesn't have any godfather. We have continued to check his record and monitor his activities as governor in that state. And we discovered that he's the only governor in the eastern part of the country currently now that does not have any link with any Fulani emirs, Fulani leaders, or Fulani political class, or Fulani kingmakers, whatever you might call them. This is a man the Abia people came out, wholeheartedly fought for. And at least we know that at a point during that election, a gubernatorial election in Abia State, that a woman sacrificed his life for Alex Otti to emerge. And now that Abians are breathing some level of leadership, breathing fresh air of leadership, even though we are still looking at Otti's antecedents to do more, there's massive resistance to that for anything to stop him from doing his work. You can see the kind of pressure that is coming from the presidency and from everywhere, and he resisted it, meaning that he stood alone and took that leadership. So from that, he has what it takes to resist any influence of any agenda, Fulani agenda in that state. And the infiltration we are seeing currently now in that state, as we are talking to you presently, we are going to hold Benjamin Carlo, the deputy speaker, responsible. We are going to hold Odzo Carlo responsible. We are going to hold every one of them. We know that I have been signaling, opening up the Fulani channels in that state. Can such thing actually happen in the north, in any part of the northern state? No, it cannot happen. They restrict their this thing to their religious belief and to their political class. Then why would we always now open to something that the whole world is against? Let them go and do their ranching in their respective states. And coming to Abia State, you are killing people. And look at what happened in a place like Mpa. Look at what is happening in Obingwa. And these are people that you cannot, just take for granted. And any day there's going to be a serious uprising. They're going to turn this situation, to just something Nigerian government and Nigeria as a whole, including the North, will not be able to believe. The Abians are not joking. Everybody is angry in the North. Every youth, everybody, as I can tell you, because that is the headquarters of the IPOB leader. That's where the IPOB leader himself, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, came from. And that state belongs to God. It is called God's own state. And we don't want any thing, that will disrupt the process of leadership we are trying to observe whether actually Alex Otti will offer. But from what you are seeing about Alex Otti gradually, I think he's moving towards that direction. We had a pressure from northern governors, emirs, and he resisted them. Another one came from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He resisted Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he doesn't want anything, and he's not in any alliance with any Fulani, and he want to run this Abia State. So name them. Are you talking about Muifru? Are you talking about Topu Zodima? Are you talking about Soludo? Look at Soludo. He came out recently and said that the Yanadua family promised me governor. The other man said, Abba Kyari made me governor. So you can see the link. You can see how these guys are undergoing pure political conquest against the Easterners. What you're seeing is there. What you're seeing, these governors are planted by these people, so that when they carry out their nefarious, activities of invasion, conquest, ethnic cleansing, extermination of the indigenous people, they will not be able to talk. And that is what we're experiencing now. Apart from Otti, who has set it up, structurally, that he know where to press, the button to press, what to touch, and there will be action in that regard. So the Fulanis are crying, and they will continue to cry. Abia State is not a place for them at all, and can never be a place for them. And ESN was founded in that state, and that is where ESN, will see the last thing to happen in that place, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's return to Abia State will be something that has to be condoned of any footstep, any form of footstep, that has to do with Fulani, S-men, bandits, jihadists in that state will be totally wiped out, and it's ongoing, unchecked. Yes, I can tell you, ISN is unstoppable in Abia State. Nothing can stop them. And I want, even though Alex Otti is planning to, establish some common of, forest guards or whatever it is, he's trying to do at this point in time. Okay, it's commendable, but I can tell you, within the space, geographical space, Abia communities and forests, the ASN has done, some jobs that when you look at it, you begin to wonder, how sophisticated these people are. But the fear is that, these people have stepped up a little bit. They are using some level of applying a digital currency. They are also using drone. They are also acquiring more sophistication, from what information we are getting. But I can tell you, some level of the leadership of ESN, has already mapped out strategy, to take them out completely, right from the Abia state down to Otukpo, down to Kogi state, down to all the Biafran territories, and that is what they are doing. Forget whether the governors are inviting them or not. They have been trained and prepared, and that is the only mission why they were created. So they are created to make sure that no Fulani is able to be allowed inside the Biafran forest, and that is what it is. And I think to an extent, Alex Otti understand the need for that and the reason why it was created. It has become a global thing, a global joy. Everybody is celebrating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for that foresight and for understanding, for that revelation. Including the governor himself, they may not come up and tell you, but down inside him, imagine the situation where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never foretold what was going to happen. And imagine the situation now, and because these governors you are seeing now, they've already compromised, and that is why they are not popular. Nobody is listening to them. All of them will fail in 2027. I can tell you that they will not have anything to do. You understand? Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become law and order, and anything he says is final, and that is what it is now. And ESN is spreading in terms of training, in terms of expertise, in terms of intelligence sharing, in terms of network, in terms of handling of modern sophistication and modern warfare arms, to make sure that the jihadists does not in any place have anything to do with any part of the Biafran land.
Okay, but according to the report, the Fulani are saying that what Alex Otti, he said since the police and the Nigerian military cannot do their job diligently by by tackling or these Fulani's headers of causing mayhem in the southeast or in Abia to be particular, that's why he's using this ESN fight against them, and that from their intelligence report that ESN just recruited 50,000 ESN member, and at the same time that they even just got new weapons to fight them. What's your take as regards?
Yes, the news went viral, and we got to know that because it has to do with a lot of intelligence, and which we will not be able to open up. There are people who has already gone to Russia for training. Some of them are already in Israel for training, and some of them are already in US for training, and some of them are already in the parts of the world for training. They are undergoing training because we don't know what is going to happen in the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and just like Israel as a nation, we are prepared, and we are preparing for the next generation, and that is what it is. The Eastern Security Network, is just the main purpose is to stop jihadists in the entire Biafran land. So the 50,000 recruitment is a welcome development, and you can see that the reason why a lot of Biafran youth are distancing themselves with any association with the Nigerian security, police, army, custom, and other. Most of them are enrolling to defend their father's land for the love of their fatherland, and that is what is happening. And you can see the massive result we are getting. It will be very difficult because they have vowed that, of course, that's the red line. They should know. The Biafran land is the red line. I think they are getting the message gradually. You can see what happened in Benue communities. You can see what happened in Delta State. They're everywhere. The ASN is even in Edo State currently now, somewhere between the boundaries of Auchi and Asian, within those forests, But a lot of people will not tell you, who they are, but we are getting information about their activities. And remember too, there are series of forces, Biafran forces. There's Biafran Liberation Army. There's so many of them, they are also doing well and making sure that this thing does not get to a point where it will become a challenge. We will chase them to Fonta Jalon at the end of the day. There's no two ways about it.
Okay, and lastly, we've seen other governors, they don't come out to speak, against this Fulani when they create mayhem there in the southeast. But Otti has been the only governor that's confidently come out to talk against this Fulani invasion there in Abia and in southeast in general. But do you think that Otti, with what he's doing now, do you think he can win 2027 election?
Of course, we do not need the presidency for him to win. What do we know? Sure, yes, of course, I can tell you. He has the network, he has the wherewithal, he has the resources, he has the manpower, he has the structure, to continue. Aluta continua. And look at his man also is in the presidency already, talking about P2B, and you can see the swelling, the popularity is swelling in the north, and from what P2B Otti is already doing in Abia State, there's nobody that will come and challenge him. You are not doing well. So it will be difficult to unseat him, and it is difficult to go against over 30 million people in Abia State. I can tell you that it will be very difficult. So his second-term position is guaranteed in that party or wherever he's going to go. But I'm sure he is not going to APC.
But
I can never go to
APC. They are ready to fight. Fight Otti for APC, give APC back to Abia State.
The Igbo youth has already told Bola Ahmed Tinubu that the governors and the political leaders, actors in the eastern part of the country is already deceiving him. They can be there with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but without no followers. So how do you rectify that? You call yourself a leader without followers, and that will be very significant when the 2027 election begins. That when he will know now that the Igbo people are not smiling, and they can never smile, and that is what it is. In Abia State, precisely, God's own state, the only God's own state in the world, in Nigeria, the first state in Nigeria, yes, and that's what it's been called, is God's own state, and we will not allow any form of elements of Fulanis or whatever, politically or otherwise, to begin to showcase whatever they think they have. At the end of the day, the bulk of the matter stops right there in the northern part of the country, not even in the middle belt, not even the Biafran territory at all.
Okay, thank you.
Ndị ọjọọ nọ n'Aba ha ga-apụ niile ga-anọ n'Aba bụ ndị na-arụ ọrụ, ndị nwere ihe a na-arụ, ndị na-awụ ndị omekome. So ha na-agwa unu onye ọbụla nwere ezigbo ihe ọ na-arụ ya rụọ ya. Ọ bụkwarị na iwe ọrụ ị na-arụ ya eme ka anyị mara anyị ga-achọtụrụ n'ọrụ.
We have gotten reports of the incessant theft of crops and farm produce in different communities across the state by criminal elements. The state government is also in receipt of multiple complaints of the destruction of crops and farms by livestock. None of this is acceptable. We have therefore directed the commissioners for agriculture, local government and chieftaincy affairs, and the senior special assistant of Homeland Security to work with the security agencies, traditional rulers, and heads of town unions across the state to develop modalities for putting an immediate stop to all forms of threat to agriculture and food production in any part of the states. Abia, like I had mentioned before, is welcoming to anyone who is capable of adding value to our economy. We shall, however, invoke the full machinery of the law to deal decisively with anyone whose actions threaten our economic prospects or damage the enterprise of our hardworking men and women. Some people who had tested our will in the past can confirm that they didn't and have not found it easy. That is, if they are alive to tell the story. And we have no choice but to rebuild it. As we do that, we have no doubt that a lot of people who are uncomfortable with our style will fight. But just like recorded in the Bible, they will fight you. But at the end of the day, they will lose. Yes. So we are not afraid of people coming to fight us. But we know we are standing on the right path of history. And we are ensuring that our money, collective money, is used to develop our state. Gone are the days where the monies of the state were shared to individuals. People they call stakeholders. So part of the fight that you see is because we are not sharing money to stakeholders. And the earlier they decide on what next to do, the better, because we will never share money. But I'm very happy that you can see. Thank you. You can see what your money is doing. Those monies that never existed, somehow they have come out. And we are using them to work for you. So I'd like to call on you to continue to support this government, like my friend and brother Chidi. And I'm sure that in no distant future, that this place will be the destination for every sector, whether call it business.
Anywhere I enter, they call me Onyigbo. All over the world, they call me Onyigbo. Ndị Igbo na-edozi obodo, ndị Igbo na-emepe obodo, ndị Igbo na-ahazi obodo, ndị Igbo na-eme ọfụma, ndị Igbo nọ n'ime afịa, ndị Igbo na diaspora.